back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. Today, I'm bringing you guys another game review. No, seriously, I'm bringing you guys another game review. And the game that I'm going to be reviewing today was reviewed on PlayStation 4. That game is Shiny. Now, before we go any further, guys, I have to ask, please, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe. Make sure to ring the bell to get notifications. I do daily videos, whether it be gameplay, a game review, product review, whatever it is, there's always a daily video up. And yeah, it helps you guys stay in touch with me, keep up to date, all that good stuff. You know the drill. So now that I got that out of the way, let's jump into this game review. Now, Shiny, first off, is available for $14.99 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Steam. And basically, this game tells the story of Kramer 227. Mumbles, what are you talking about? Kramer 227 is a robot. R-O-B-O-T. Robot. And he lives on the planet of Aurora. Now, unfortunately, currently this planet/colony is careening towards the sun. So the humans said, I'm out of here, forget that, I'm not going to die in the sun or anything like that, let's get the heck out of here. So that's what they did. But they did not take their robot friends, including poor Kramer 227. Now, Kramer cannot bear to see all of everything he's ever known in life be destroyed. So you take control of him, and you not only aim to help your robot friends, but save them all from imminent destruction. Now, whether or not he saves them, that's up to you. Now let's get into the graphics, the soundtrack, as well as the controls. First off, the graphics in this game, I love how they made the robots look. The robots look really nice, but I gotta be honest with you guys. Background effects, I'm not a huge fan of. They don't pop as much as I would like them to. You know, when you're in like a metal type world, you would expect things to kind of pop. And they don't have that pop that I would like to see. With that being said, they're not horrible graphics. They are solid, but just not as good as they could be. So graphics, I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't all that impressed. Soundtrack-wise, this game has a nice soundtrack. Whether it be, you know, soft type music when you're going through something that is tear-jerking, or whether it be, you know, fast-paced, gotta get going, gotta go, there's something chasing me, I gotta get out of here, type music that keeps your heart pumping and letting you know that there is action going on. The soundtrack does a great job of keeping you engaged in the gameplay the entire time. And a game like that always deserves props. Now the controls. There's really not a lot to the controls in this game. Your main thing that you're going to do in this game as a platformer is jump from one platform to the other. Now, along the way you will gain special abilities such as basically a barrier that can protect you from falling items like rocks, as well as things like jetpacks that can help you jump higher, get farther, all that other stuff. But control-wise, they are not the greatest controls out there, I gotta be honest. The controls at times, they just felt like, especially in the air, your in-air control, and by this I mean when you jump and you're floating in the air, you don't really float, but you know what I mean. At the tip of your jump, when you're trying to, you know, direct yourself to land on that platform under you, there's not a lot of air control there. So that is something that is definitely a negative control-wise. So controls, they could have done a little bit better here. It's just overall kind of hard to control. But it does have a small learning curve to it, in as much as it's very easy to pick up the controls and know what the buttons are right away. So plus on that side, but minus on the fact of how the controls actually work. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Now, as I said, Kramer wants to save his robot friends. And to do that, he has a special mechanic in this game. As a robot, he runs on energy. Now, the way that the developer incorporated this into the gameplay was they made your health meter an actual battery gauge. Now, as you move around or jump up and down or use your special abilities, you will see this battery meter go down further and further, and if it runs all the way out, game over. You have to restart at your last checkpoint. Now, that is one of the coolest mechanics I have seen in a robot type game because I think it's really ingenious, really. Beyond that, this game, as I said, is a platformer. What you can look for gameplay experience-wise here is a lot of jumping, a lot of moving from one platform to the other, a lot of avoiding things, and a lot of saving your robot friends. Now, by this I mean literally, your robot friends will be on the floor and basically inactive. I'm going to call them inactive. I'm not going to call them dead. I'm going to call them inactive. Because this game isn't about that. It's about saving things. So these robots are inactive. As you come upon these robots, you can choose whether to revive them or not. But be aware. Remember that battery meter that I told you about? If you choose to revive a robot, it will take health from that battery meter, and you will not be able to recharge it until you get to a new checkpoint. Now, to make things even more interesting, the developer decided, at least for the normal and hard modes, I didn't play it on easy, for the normal and hard modes, you only have so many checkpoints you can use at each station. So for example, if you get to checkpoint 6 might only have 4 retries. On the 4th retry, you have to start the level all over again. So that is another aspect to this game that makes this game rather challenging. Now, enemy-wise in this game, there's not really any enemies. The overall arching enemy of this game is the environment itself. Things like the sun, falling rocks, fire, things like that. It's the elements. You are playing against the element. You're playing against your battery gauge and trying to stay charged so that you don't die or become deactivated. It is that simple, guys. To summarize, this game is exactly what you think it is. It is a tough platformer that asks the player to go from point A to point B with limited battery power, with the battery constantly draining, with controls that at times are not the greatest, and to put all this together and save the robot population of this world. That is basically what the gameplay of this can be summed up as. Now let's talk about the cons. The first con in this game is the length. This game is only 20 levels, and it could be completed within a couple hours if you can get the controls down. Now obviously if you go for easy mode, you're still going to have the same challenge, but you will have more retries, so it may not take you as long. But if you're judging it from a normal mode, you could probably beat this in a couple hours easy. Now, another con for this game, and a lot of games have this con, so don't read too much into this one, and I say it almost every time I do a game review, is repetition. This game does one thing over and over and over and over and over. Jump, 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 save robots, save robots, save robots, save robots, save robots. It does vary up the environment that you're in, so that is a nice change of repetition, but it doesn't really introduce anything new other than the special items that you get, and it's just kind of the same thing that you've come to expect from platformers like this. 2D side-scrolling platformers, that's just how they are. Now the other con, and I've already touched on it, so I'm not going to say a lot about it, bad controls. They needed more air control, they needed it to control better. In a game that asks you to do something precise over and over again, controls are really important, and they just kind of missed the mark here. So really, all the stuff to ask here now is, what is this game going to get on our Mumbles review? Shiny, I really wanted to love you. I wanted to love you so bad. You tell a gripping story. You do so in a way that really drew me into your story, but the cons of this game, the controls, especially the controls, they really have to be taken into account on a platformer that asks you to be so precise. So I gotta be fair here. This game is gonna get a 5 out of 10 today on our Mumbles review, but this game could have easily been a 6 or 7 with just a few tweaks of the controls. So if, in the event the creator would decide to go back in, patch the controls, and fix them, this could be a 6 or 7 game. With that being said, this is a cool game. I don't like to discourage developers that bring a new idea to something. And this whole kind of battery thing that they did with this, I really like that a lot. I think that it was a unique mechanic, and I think they did a really great job with it. But, just like I said, really, this is getting a 5 out of 10 because of the controls. Just gotta be honest with you guys. Anyways, guys, this has been my review of Shiny. Let me know what you think, if you played this game or if you're interested in playing it, whatever. I love to hear your guys' comments. And please, as always, make sure to throw me a like if you like this video. Please smack that bell so you can keep notified of when I do what videos I'm doing and what I'm doing on YouTube. Subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your dog, share it with your cat, share it with everybody. Mumbles loves everybody. Anyways, guys, this is going to be Mumbles signing off. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.